get started. Does anyone want to get out?
They shouldn't have given you ashy blokes YouTube.
Hey, yo, lesson here, babe. You come at the king, you best not miss.
All right, good people. This is just me doing something to kind of put this on the record since I know I'm going to get asked. And uh, since I was going through some stuff today, I decided to go ahead and answer this question about Barack Obama and the finger wagging going against black men. And I see what people are saying, and people getting all up in a tizzy and a tither about it, which rightfully so. You know, it is what it is. It's controversial, and it's going to make black men mad. But um, my thing here is not to get emotional about something. Basically, um, because you get emotional about what's on top of the covers, what's being presented to you, and not what's underneath the covers. So, as they say, my job here in this space is to get you guys to peep game. Okay, not to sit in the stands and cheer for one side or the other and get emotional about it, but to break down the game so you can peep the game, what the game is actually about, what's actually going on behind the scenes, right? So you can be more astute. Because I notice a lot of guys that are in this space, a lot of my followers, my subs can't talk to their family about politics anymore, is because um, they're becoming less and less a civilian. Okay, civilians get emotional. Civilians buy into the hype. Okay, veterans, which you guys, I'm trying to make you guys some. You know, you guys are getting there slowly but surely. But veterans don't get upset about this stuff because they understand what the game is. So, which I found that out with the Lakers. It's how come I am persona non grata with the Lakers organization is because I'm not a fan anymore, right? I'm not a civilian anymore. I'm peeping what's really going on inside the game, which is why I laugh when Bronny James basically was drafted, and I knew by looking at Bronny James he was nowhere near an NBA basketball player, which was proven out in summer league, which he should have never made the squad as far as far as the preseason. Okay, but that's called press, that's called promotion, that's called feelings, that's called being a fan. And I've been around too long to buy into that stuff. Anyhow, we welcome some people real quick since it should be don't want to be here this long because I'm probably going to do a behind the wall patron stream for my patrons right around 6 or 6:30 p.m. Pacific time. So if you guys are still up and you guys want to participate in that and get off what you can't say here in front of the in front public facing, okay? Because there's some things I can't say public facing because in the last 2 weeks I've got three community guidelines warnings on two channels in the last 2 weeks when I haven't had three community guideline warnings in the last 5 years, but all of a sudden in the last 2 weeks I get three. So that means I'm saying stuff that YouTube and the Democratic Party probably does not want me to say. So when I was behind the wall, nobody said crap, okay? But when I did it publicly, now I have issues. Anyhow, yeah, I got bots crawling over my pages now. But anyhow, let's get started. Chef, what's going on? It'll be interesting, man. I'm actually gonna take a different tack. Lavis, what's going on? Free agent Triple OG, Indigo Flow, Henderson Bancroft. There's Toya with the apple. With the apple. You know what I like about you, Toya? Believe it or not, looking at you, I like your neck. I like the back of your neck. Believe it or not. I know that's strange. Adric, what's happening? John Smith, what's going on? I see these dim liberals are still refusing to believe that they no longer have 90% of us black men at their beck and call. More and more of us brothers are finally accepting our issues come first. It's called the Black Manosphere. BMI, Black Male Independence, BMA, Black Male Autonomy, and BME, Black Male Empowerment. Shout out to our professor, okay? Ron O'Neill. Okay? Shout out to him. The Psychotomist, what's going on? Brooklyn's Finest, what's happening? Deep Verma. Red Pill Sleeper. Roddy, what's going on? There is Instant Media. What's happening? Dave Tao. Prince, what's going on? Mr. Snazzy. Forever Blessed. Cynical Optimist. Encrypted Wolf. I'm listening. There he is. AL. Don't nobody say shit. Philip Redden, what's happening? The Black Toxic Masculinist, what's going on? What's going on, Leon? The Super Trick, what's going on? Be About Peace. 90 in the fast lane, no driving. Let's see. Trail. Let's see. The Supreme Pivot. What's going on, Supreme? Kangaroo. What's happening? Royston. Jay Will. Larry Legend. Maurice. Jay Shabazz. Hey, Mr. Donnie Mac. What's happening? All Spades. What's going on? And Art. What's going on? All right. Let's go ahead and get this started. Let's get the party started. So we're going to play the speech. Okay, we speed it up just a tad bit because we don't take too long. Because Barry, I like his delivery, but unless he's mad, he speaks pretty slow. He speaks pretty slow unless he's mad. Share screen. And this is from ABC News. Okay, it's about 5 minutes, but we sped it up a little bit, so it'll be about 4. And this is the one we saw. And we're actually gonna go into the behind the scenes after this.
I'm gonna go ahead and just speak some truths, if you don't mind.
And truths, right? Right off the line right off the bat.
Because my understanding, based on reports I'm getting from campaigns and communities, is that we have not yet seen the same kinds of energy and turnout.
In other words, you get your ass out there and beat these Negroes into submission, okay? Do your job.
In all quarters of our neighborhoods and communities, as we saw when I was running. Now, I also want to say that seems to be more pronounced with the brothers. So if you don't mind, just for a second, I'm going to speak to y'all directly. And say that when you have a choice that is this clear, when on the one hand you have somebody who grew up like you, knows you, went to college with you, understands the struggles and pain and joy that comes from those experiences, who's had to work harder and do more and overcome and achieves the second highest office in the land.
Yeah, he doesn't. He does cuss and he does smoke Newports. That is very true, which makes Michelle mad.
And is putting forward concrete proposals to directly address the things that are vital in our neighborhoods and our communities, from housing to making sure that our mothers and our fathers and our grandparents can afford medicine. And making
that is a different story. Culture crack. I'll speak to this just for a second, all right? Okay. Just for a second, okay. What happens in Congress when you put a black on a bill? What do you think is going to happen to it? Culture crack. I'll put the link in if you want to come up. What do you think happens to a bill if you put black in it in Congress? What do you think would happen to it? Because a lot of people keep complaining, but the thing is, that's why I say about talking to civilians. What do you think will happen, Culture Crack? What do you think is going to happen to it? Culture Crack, answer me. What do you think is going to happen to it if you put a black in a bill and try to get it through Congress? Thrown out, okay? So, if you want to come up, we can talk directly, okay? So, in other words, if you're President Obama, you want to do something for black folks, what do you have to do? Do you have to put black on it? Would you put black on it? Would you put black on it? KMS says, putting my tinfoil do-rag. Could this be berating speech? Boy, Hawaii Berry be a poison pill and hiding? I don't think so, because it appears to have the opposite effect of what it was intended. I think he's saying what they told him to say. That's what I believe. Okay. It won't pass. So culture crack. What would you do if you are a black president trying to get something in for black people? Tuition, salute BGS brothers. Support black media. Support your scholars. Culture crack. Since you came up with the smart ass answer, I think I want a smart ass response. What would you do? How would you get something included for black folks? In other words, you have to just like they do with the corporations, right? How do you think the banks and corporations get their shit through? They hide it. They put it inside something. Remember when Barack Obama, right after the crisis, he actually got money in for shovel-ready projects. Remember that? Okay. Remember that? Okay. What did he do? He did two things for black, especially for black men, right? Once he took a lot of the TARP money and a lot of Congress's money and introduced what he called shovel-ready projects on the ground for blue collar men to actually do, right? It included blue collar white men, had to put them to work anyway, right? Okay. The second thing he did, guess what he did? He actually started stripping away the rights for illegal immigrants to work in this country, right? Guess what they did? Okay, 4 million of them deported themselves. Okay, what did that do? That opened up jobs for whom? Opened up jobs from whom? What did it do? A lot of times when you sense that Barack Obama didn't do anything for black folks, you got to go back and look at, number one, the opposition to get something through. And number two, how do you hide it within other bills that's going to benefit black folks? He did a very good job of that, okay? And even though I like Barack Obama, I voted for him because he was black, and I knew what I was getting into. I know why he was elected. He wasn't elected for us in the first place. But the thing is, you keep saying he didn't do anything for us, but the thing is, you don't know that because you didn't look at all the bills, okay? He deported more what's called illegal aliens, okay, undocumented people, than anybody since Eisenhower. Okay, Eisenhower did it for the same reason. Okay, he wanted more jobs for black folks and more jobs for citizens. So guess what he did? He deported all the extra labor and opened up jobs. That's like when we had a big job boom in the '60s. So he hit a lot of that stuff, even with the mortgage crisis. Did he have to take some away? Yeah, but they also gave some back. I know tons and tons and tons of black people that lost their houses, but he set up programs like NACA for them to get houses back. Did everybody take advantage of it? No. But the thing is, on one hand, he has to do what he got to do because he's president. On the other hand, he opened up avenues for you to actually get some shit done. Okay. Remember with my brother's keeper, when he actually put black boys at the center of it, guess what happened to it? Got shot down. So the thing is, he's not an idiot. He knows how the system works, okay? And he knows because he was a black president of the United States. He knew what he had to face. So basically, if you want to get something through, you can't get it through by putting black on it. There's a lot of shit that he did. I mean, being president up at this level is a lot of give and take. Okay, this is why I'm showing you this. Number one, because this is the front facing thing, right? Now, when I said he's got to do this because he was given his marching orders. Okay, so that's why I'm trying to go through it. So I know you don't like him, but I'm saying hold judgment until you see what I'm trying to present. Stop being a civilian for a second.
Making sure that we are dealing with prices that are too high and rents that are too high, and are committed to making sure that we maintain the Affordable Care Act. So everybody's got help and cares about things like education and entrepreneurship in our neighborhoods. And that's on one side. And on the other side, you have someone who has consistently shown disregard, not just for the communities, but for you as a person. And you're thinking about sitting out? I'm not. But, you know, because Putin might be. And you're coming up with all kinds of reasons and excuses. I've got a problem with that. Because part of it makes me think, and I'm speaking to men directly now, part of it makes me think that, well, you just aren't feeling the idea of having a woman as president. And you're coming up with other alternatives and other reasons for that. And I think anybody you are talking to in a barbershop, anybody you are talking to in your house, in your family, at church, who is coming with that kind of attitude, I think you have to ask them, well, how can that be? Because the women in our lives have been getting our backs.
Some things, as a president and who you represent, some things you can do, and some things you can't. Pardoning Jack Johnson long after he's dead, I don't think reaches the top of the list, okay?
This entire time. They've been raising us and working and having our backs. And when we get in trouble, and the system's not working for us, they're the ones who are out there marching and protesting. And so now you're thinking about sitting out or even supporting somebody who has a history of denigrating you?
I think he jumps on the men so that the women will side with Kamala. That happens a lot, okay? If you want if you want the women to actually, the black women to actually get on board, you chastise the black men.
Because you think that's a sign of strength? Because that's what being a man is? Putting women down? That's not acceptable. That's not, this shouldn't even be a question.
All right. Okay, that's what he said, okay? That's what he said. That's part one. Rich Turner says, black men, Obama, welcome to death row, okay? As if cousin Pookie and Ray Ray doesn't have enough grief in the sector, now Obama name drops them again. Yeah, because you identify with Pookie and Ray Ray, okay? He's trying to say that the low-class, low-budget dudes like Pookie and Ray Ray are going to vote for Trump, or the Trumpers, okay? Got to remember, these talks and these briefings and this stuff, they're very well rehearsed, okay? They're not just he's not talking off the cuff. This is very well rehearsed. He knows what he's getting ready to talk about. Got to remember, he was president for 8 years. He knows exactly how to give a speech and that's exactly how to input a message into the populace. Okay, this is very well. Plus, he spent 20 years learning how to do this. Okay, so there's things that you got. So when you hear him and Michelle talk, you really got to break it down. What's their agenda? Okay, so we're getting ready to get into the agenda. Okay. And see, where's my stream? There it is. And we're going to start with something that I've shown before. Okay. Okay. This is how divided the Democratic Party is. I'm not going to show you the whole thing because it's just too much and too many. I showed you what AOC was saying. I showed what a bunch of whole other people were saying. So I'm just going to show you a few clips about what is really going on behind the scenes, okay?
The switch. I mean, the switch. No, we went through a very open process, a very inclusive process. It was bottom up. I don't know if you know that. Yes, that's what I've been told to say.
Yes, it was a blitz primary, I believe. That's what they called it.
It's a very, very fast blitz. Yes.
I think it was
a blink primary, so we call that.
Oh, a 30-minute convention.
Yeah.
You know, between a tweet and another tweet.
It's amazing how it happened.
Yeah, it's been amazing. But what is amazing is how unified everybody is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's next level.
In other words, this is what they were told to say. Okay, that's the blitz. I says, you're right, just because there were so many black women applauding, say black men finally holding black men accountable. It's like, for what? Voting in their best interests, unfreaking real. Yeah, I mean, basically, yeah, okay. I don't know if I can do anything about the sound because this is the recording. Um, so I don't. Let me see if I can do something about the sound real quick because I just pulled it. So evidently, see if I can find it. I'm sure I can find it. New York Post, Newsom. Let's find it on YouTube. Okay, let's see if it's better. Oh, YouTube wants to trip. Okay.
How you feeling about the switch?
Okay.
I mean, the switch. Now we went through a very open process.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's louder on here. Let's go ahead and play it. Share screen. All right. Let's play it from here.
How you feeling about the switch?
I mean, the switch. Now we went through a very open process, and a very inclusive process. It was bottom up. I don't know if you know that. Yes, that's what I've been told to say.
Yes, it was a blitz primary, I believe. That's what they called it.
It's a very, very fast blitz. Yes.
I think it was
a blink primary, so we call that.
Oh, a 30-minute convention.
Yeah.
You know, between a tweet and another tweet.
It's amazing how it happened.
Yeah, it's been amazing. But what is amazing is how unified everybody is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's next level.
In other words, they force the Democratic Party together. Okay. So that's what's going on. Okay. Let's see. Move from studio. Okay. That tells you that what's going on is what they have been told to say. Now this is right after that. I think it's right after right before the convention. Tavis Smiley talking to some of the insiders. Okay, that Tavis Smiley used to do the Black State of the Union back in the aughts. Okay, right before Obama was elected, and right through I think up until like 2011 or something like that. Okay, he used to do that every year, so he's very well connected politically.
He's enabler of genocide. 40,000 Palestinians dead. Black Lives Matter in prisons. Palestinian lives matter in Gaza. Iraqi lives matter in Iraq. You can't just lie about Biden. You can't, and this is going to be the challenge of our dear sister. I'm praying for the sister because I want to make sure that her safety and her health is in place as a human being and as a sister. But if she's just going to reproduce those lies, then we need to bring serious moral and spiritual critique to what is going on with her.
And this is Cornel West talking about Kamala Harris, right? He was critiquing Kamala Harris.
And all the folks who are going to be lying about her.
The Obama question.
It's a challenge, man.
Now this is so we're gonna get into the Obama question. This is right after. This is right before the debate, not the debate, right after the debate, and basically Biden stepping down, and right before I do believe right before the convention.
It's a hell of a because the lie is going every which way.
Yeah, no, I hear your point. The Obama question that I teed up a moment ago. You and I, of course, caught our fair share of it some years ago. And again, your position was yours, my position.
Yeah, we were just trying to stand up for truth and justice and the poor at that point.
Yeah, when I saw that social media just get lit yesterday, it got lit, and they went in on Obama. I saw black folk all across America say things about Barack Obama that I thought I would never hear in my lifetime, because at one point Negroes thought Barack Obama could walk on water like Jesus. And yesterday they went in on him. You got a sister now who has the opportunity to be the standard bearer for the Democratic Party, and everybody seems to be lining up behind her. But Obama says, I want an open process, and they went in. What did you make of that?
In other words, Obama said that he wanted an open process. Guess what? And this is right after, right? This is right after all the big kerfuffle, right? Okay, Obama was not with her, okay? Obama didn't want her, okay? Black women weren't raising us, they were nerfing black men with winter soldier chips, trying to justify the defiance of God and driving men out of the home. Bullshit, but it's okay. Okay, they did for different reasons.
Reality yesterday.
Well, I mean, it's hard to keep track of Obama's formulations and things. He views himself both as an elder on the one hand, but you see, they all tied to these big donors and this big money.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's not as independent as people think. He also has to be in consultation with which way the money's going. If they pull the money on Biden, people say, "Oh, Biden's like George Washington. He's noble." No, he wasn't noble. It was an act. It was saving his face. They pushed him against the wall and pulled all the money from it.
You see, in other words, basically, that's the whole thing, right? The donors and the money that was behind Biden, when he got exposed, they started pulling the money. Okay, they held up the money. I mean, we talked about this almost 3 months ago. Why did they jump behind Kamala Harris? Okay, why did uh, uh, why did Obama push Biden out? It's because of the money. It's because what did he say? To save the down ballot positions of the Democrats, right? In other words, Obama felt you're going to lose anyway. But the thing is, you might as well lose and save the down ballot seats rather than go down with the ship. Okay? Remember we talked about that? Say Blue Sox, what's going on?
Obama's got to deal with that same dynamic. But the sad thing is, Brother Tavis, is that Obama can get criticism for not endorsing Sister Kamala Harris. But where's the criticism for this relative silence on the mass incarceration regime? Mm-hmm. Where is the criticism on the plight of the black poor and black working class? Mm-hmm. That's where he ought to receive the serious criticism, seems to me. I mean, he's gone now, but that's what we were trying to do. And the same will be true in terms of our dear Sister Kamala.
Yeah. I saw.
I mean, if she's for Cop City and she's for the genocide in Gaza, then what moral and spiritual grounds are we talking about here?
In other words, they're not talking policy, okay? They're not talking policy. At least, which is why they were killing Cornel West's independent campaign, okay?
Yeah, when I saw Obama's statement yesterday, a very kind statement about President Biden, I sort of chuckled because I said, I know Joe Biden ain't trying to hear that, because his point of view is that Obama did not lift a finger to help me. I was his guy for 8 years. All this hell breaks loose. Obama didn't lift a finger to help me. He knew George Clooney was writing that op-ed for the New York Times.
In other words, Obama was pushing him out of the seat, okay? And that's how come Biden is bitter, okay? Obama's pushing him out of the seat.
As we now know, Obama didn't stop the op-ed that George Clooney was writing, so that his hands are a little dirty in this regard. And he can say what he wants to now, but Joe Biden ain't feeling that. I can tell you that, yeah.
But I also think, too, when Obama hears all this talk about Biden is the greatest transformative
president
in the last 100 years.
Okay, 48th president, okay? You spammed it one time. I'll let it go one time. Chill out, okay? Otherwise, I will get rid of you, okay? I'll let you do it once. Second time, third time, you're gone, okay? It just ain't what we talking about. If you want to spam it someplace else. I'll let the first one go by, okay, which is free speech. I'm letting the second one go by. That's why I'm showing it on the screen. Don't do it again, all right?
You think, well, what was mine? Just 8 years of limping through?
Exactly.
And
it's because that's the way he speaks, think or die. He calls every black person, he even calls white people sister and brother. So that's the way he speaks.
Well, you got to get used to all of them lying, brother.
Yeah.
All of them are lying.
Yeah, well,
if you're not helping the poor and working class, and if you engage in the genocide of other parts of the world, you are not a great president. Period.
Well, that's part of the calculation, part of the calculus, I should say, that Joe Biden is not considering. Every time he got into a bad habit over the last few interviews of saying that himself. I'm one of the greatest. I'm the greatest president in modern history since Franklin D. Roosevelt. I mean, Biden kept saying that, and every time he said it, I'm thinking, Obama ain't trying to hear that. You are not going to tell Barack Obama that you're the greatest president in modern history since FDR. So Biden's got his feelings hurt that Obama didn't get his back. But every time you said to Obama, I'm a greater president than you were, that wasn't making him happy. So
a very deep schism in the Democratic Party. In other words, the schism was already there. Now the cracks are widening. That's the way he speaks. You guys know how he speaks. I don't know why you guys complain about it. Okay, Cornell. I've been listening to Cornell for over 30 years. He's been. That's the way he talks.
Some of this,
That wasn't.
yeah, some of this may be Obama's ego.
And there's nothing wrong. Ain't nothing wrong with if he's telling the truth. Muhammad Ali say I'm the greatest.
Yeah.
He showed it. Look
Yeah.
at my record.
Yeah.
But Biden say I'm the greatest, and you look up there and you see C's and D's and want to be summa cum laude. No, man.
Yeah.
You pass some significant.
Well, Andre, you should know by now, man. Stop talking to civilians, okay? You should know by now. Basically, you should have known all the ins and outs of why this stuff is going on, man. I don't know why you go over there to civilians and repeat their talking points. Who cares what they're talking about? They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. That's why I'm showing you this, okay? Because most of these people talking don't know what the hell they're talking about, okay?
Significant legislation, and you still was involved in this genocide, neglecting the poor. And it's sad to even see the black politicians running up there and bootlicking Biden like that. Please get off the plantation. We tired of that kind of mentality.
You hear next, Maxine Waters doing the same thing, okay?
Stand by, Dr. West. As you can tell, he's on fire already. I want to bring in Jonathan Darman. He is a noted journalist and historian. I've asked Jonathan Darman on today, before I get to Maxine Waters here, I'm going to ask Jonathan Darman to stay with me for the rest of the hour. I got more for him. Ask Dr. West if he can to hang around a little bit before we get to Maxine here in a few minutes. But I want to go to Jonathan Darman right quick because...
Okay, that's that clip. Okay, now that's Cornell West. Cornell West was talking about the exact same thing, even though there's pieces. I've shown you this before. Okay, we've shown you the articles. We've shown you other pieces of this. Okay, before. Okay, months ago when it happens. Okay, so why you guys are all up in arms believing what these politicians are lying and saying, I don't know. I don't know why you guys are getting upset when you already know the truth. I've already shown you this, okay? This is why. Of course, he has power, okay, and connections. Anybody that's been president of the United States, okay, for any amount of time has power, okay, and prestige. These times are probably more critical now, and there's one thing they're all consistent about saying, right? They all say the same thing, okay? That these times are different. Okay? That's why I'm going about this differently, okay? That's why I'm saying that it's fake finger wagging. Okay? And this is now I've shown you what AOC said about the schism in the Democratic Party. I showed you the schism hinted at by Newsom at the convention, by the way, okay? At the convention, by the way. This is behind the scenes shit, right? That you don't see that's really going on, okay? And I'm trying to tell you, Obama out there with that speech, he was basically told what to say. It's because the internal polls are saying that Kamala Harris is probably going to lose this election. So you got to get out there and shore up your base. And this is what he was doing. So guess who's the easiest person actually throwing under the bus? It's not white men, it's black men, okay? That's how come we threw black men under the bus. They have to be, otherwise they'd never get elected. That's why Kamala Harris is not a good politician, because she's not a good actress. Anyway, continuing.
He's enabling genocide.
Oh, it's the wrong one.
40,000 Palestinians.
That's the wrong one. All right. That's not the one. We're looking for the other one.
He's enabling genocide. To what is, you see, they all for this relative spiritual grounds all we're talking about here.
Hands are a little dirty in this regard. And he can say what he wants to now, but Joe Biden ain't feeling that. I can tell you that. Yeah.
But I also think, too, when Obama hears all this summa cum laude, man.
That's wrong. Okay, I did it twice. Okay, let me find it. Let me go ahead and find it. Let me find it from the original, because I tried to clip it in. Tried to clip it. Let me find it from the original, because I should clip the same one twice. Ick. Sorry about that, folks. Let's see if I can. I'm sure I can find it, because I just did it. Where's my history? There it is. The history. Yada, yada, yada. I think this one is it.
U.S. Concealed Carry Association. Go to defendfamily.com.
All right, let's play it from the original. Okay, this is Tavis Smiley, 9A. Okay, on YouTube if you actually want to see it. So I'll play it from the original. Okay, since I got it, I found where it was potted up at. So this is actually Tavis Smiley's show on KBLA, and the clip is like 35 minutes into the show. Okay.
Now.
Ready to re-examine your assumptions and expand your inventory of ideas? More of Tavis Smiley coming your way right now.
They are rolling through as I told you they would. I'm pleased to have Auntie Maxine on the line. Auntie Maxine, how are you today?
Well, I'm fine and delighted to be with you, boy. Is this a wonderful time in our history?
You notice how our elders, our elder females, gynocratic females, called us boy, okay? And we laugh at it. But the thing is, the Southern gynocrat calling us boy, we laugh at it because we know internally they love us, but they're still gynocrats. You're gonna hear that, even though the funny thing about black women and black men, basically, okay, and a gynocrat like Auntie Maxine, who probably should have been a mother-in-law, but that's a different story. In another life. Yeah. Anyway, my grandson, he always gets sad when I bring up this story. But anyhow, continuing.
When you say a wonderful time in our history, unpack that for me. That word "wonderful."
Wonderful means really a seminal time in our history, where we have the opportunity to really bring this country together under the leadership of a woman who happens to be African American, a woman who has distinguished herself with a career that has led her to this point, and who has served as Vice President of the United States, understands the White House, understands how to provide the...
It said, don't let these folks in the chat run your blood pressure up. Nah, not really. Not today, okay? I have more patience with civilians today.
Leadership to huge and important issues, and has worked as a team with the president, who has done a phenomenal job. I'm excited. We're all excited here. Members of the Black Caucus are all excited.
Maybe I would be thankful, but my pockets would be much more full had I taken that pass. Let's put it that way.
Women's Caucus all excited, and I want to tell you that the response has been overwhelming from all across the country, and already about 6 states as of last night had already pledged all of their delegates to her at the convention, and more will be coming on today.
Let me ask you a couple questions right quick. One, did you have any difficulty, any second thoughts, any challenges internally in your own heart, mind, and soul, pivoting from Joe Biden to Kamala Harris? And I asked that because you were such an ardent Joe Biden supporter.
No.
Now, she was a strident Joe Biden supporter, even though she was there when Joe Biden pushed the crime bill through. Funny how, politics make strange bedfellows, right?
I didn't have any problem, because I realized once someone in that kind of position makes up their mind, it's been given serious thought and consideration, and this is what they truly want to do. But just think about it. Just think about how he's going to be recorded in history. He picked a woman who happened to be African American for his vice presidency, and on his way out, he has endorsed her to become the President of the United States of America. And because I believe that this is so possible, we have to give him credit for the way that he has distinguished himself, kept his promises, put not only her in that position to be eligible for the presidency, and said the reason I picked her because I knew that she could very well serve as the President of the United States. Add that to what Biden had done.
Got to remember, Maxine Waters is in Los Angeles, which is California. Kamala Harris has been in politics for quite some time, and Kamala Harris, until she ran for Senate, was known as an African American. Okay, that's what she was known. That's what she projected to the California public. So, Not really. Okay, not really. It's more complicated than that.
And with placing a woman who happened to be African American on the Supreme Court, Ketanji Jackson. And so, no, I respected his decision, and of course, I am elated.
The thing, Festus, go back. You know what? I understand what you guys are trying to say. Okay, but what I'm saying is you guys have been online too long and know how to Google. Okay, know how to Google her background and Google her history. Okay, you should know better than that. Should know better than that. That's why you guys just go from panel to panel and don't actually use Google to actually research. They say black people don't read. I'm starting to really believe it. Okay, not even a little bit.
At the fact that he endorsed Kamala.
Let me ask you, to what extent you think clearly, as I said earlier, these issues are going to be tracked by Trump and the MAGA forces. But how ugly? You've been around a long time, Maxine Waters. You recall Willie Horton and a number of other. You recall the Black Hands commercial that Jesse Helms used against Harvey Gantt in North Carolina on the issues of race and gender. You're no fan of Donald Trump. He ain't a fan of yours. We all know that. But on the issues of race and gender, how ugly do you expect this to get?
Oh, it's going to be nasty.
Yeah.
It's going to be very nasty because I think it was one of his guys, and I think it's Bannon was his name, who counseled and advised him, if you want to win, use race as an issue. And he has dog whistles at every step on race. And he's focused on the Latino community who he thought would not have the power to really fight him the way that the black community would. So we were number one, number two in his racism. But yes, it's going to be nasty. But guess what? There is so many outstanding issues.
Okay, Benjamin Gibson. Okay, if you Googled, why don't you try Googling her background, see where she was born, and where she was raised, and her old timeline. She did not go to Canada until her mother got a job. She was in middle school by then. Okay, her first 12 years was in Oakland. Okay, they got pictures of her babysitting as a little girl to a little black girl. Okay, they got pictures of her going to school, walking to the school bus in Oakland. She wasn't raised in Canada. She went from middle school to high school. Her mother got a job in Canada. Then she came back to the United States. Okay, she spent 6 years of her whole entire life in Canada. It's not being raised in Canada. Okay. Her paternal grandmother. Yeah. Well, you got a picture of her paternal grandmother, Resurrection Minds. Got a picture of her. Y'all don't even have pictures of her. Okay. Anyway, continuing. Yeah, we know who Harris dated, man.
Issues with this dishonorable human being. And whether we're talking about just being a...
Candace Owens doesn't know. That's what I'm talking about. You guys believe anything you guys hear, okay? Candace Owens believes she collected your money.
Plain old liar that was identified as having 28 lies in the debate to someone long before he was...
Candace Owens did not... We had a guy that was down there in Jamaica that said it was off, okay? It said it was off. The guy actually went through, in Jamaica actually went through it, okay? In fact, CNN went down to Jamaica and talked to his cousin, okay? They're not white.
Ever elected. He and his father refused to lease or rent to African Americans. Someone who cheated subcontractors and set up a phony school to teach people.
And if we're going to talk about Candace Owens, basically, we're not talking about Candace Owens. We're not talking about Candace Owens and what color Kamala is right now. We're talking about Barack Obama, okay? And even talk about Kamala Harris. Talk about Barack Obama. If you guys want to talk about Kamala Harris and her color and what race she is, do it at some other time. Otherwise, I'm going to start going ahead and start timing people out, okay? Yeah, but your father makes you black. If you guys want to talk, okay, we're not talking about Kamala's race. If you want to do that, go someplace else. Otherwise, I'm going to start timing people out. We're not arguing about her race. You go do that with somebody else. We're talking about policy right now. Okay? So next person going to talk about her race, I'm going to start timing you out because that's not what we're talking about. Okay? Okay? Capiche? So when you get timed out or blocked, don't say nothing. You've been warned.
How to become developers, etc. When you add that to the fact that it's 34
Start timing the trolls out.
convictions, that he dishonored women, he talked about grabbing women by their private parts, and has been charged with the rape of a woman in a department store, which he has been convicted for. And when you add that to all 34 of those convictions, and the fact that he's a lover of Putin, he's aligned with Russia, and he does not support our allies. And
who does she sound like? Okay, who she sound like? She's speaking the Democratic Party line. Okay, and we you know, I've known Maxine Waters really since what was that 14, 15 years old. Okay, so that means about 50 some odd years.
he would rather Russia fight and win to recreate the Soviet Union rather than join with us to fight to keep the Ukraine one of our allies. The democracy is at stake. This man has led on every lie that you could think of. Just think about the Republican Party and the way that they have fashioned themselves. They were so supposed to be the party of law and order.
have you heard Maxine Waters go in on Dick Cheney and Liz Cheney about supporting Kamala?
Wow. How does Trump look against that lie that they have always talked about? Not only did they talk about law and order, patriotism. They were more patriotic than anybody else. And now they are wrapped up following him in his love for Putin. Yeah. We got a lot. She's got a lot. I want to tell you.
Here's the Democratic line that you guys hear from all the Democrats, okay? Including the VP.
Bring it on, but we'll be able to not only talk about the successes of Biden and what that team has been able to do, but we'll be able to tell the truth and the way he's already defined himself and the way that he's conducted himself. We're going to win this war.
I got a minute to go here. Let me ask you, I've asked this of others earlier in this conversation.
Now listen to this, okay? This is the key. I said, what black president can your father, we ain't talking race right now, okay? Okay, Wingate, okay? All right, you must have been late, okay? Let me ask you, James. Like I asked this to a brother earlier, okay? If Barack Obama, who's a black president that most of the Congress did not like or did not want as a black president, had put any kind of bill forward, proposition forward with black on it, what do you think would have happened to the bill? I'll wait. You're president, okay? If you put black on it, what do you think is going to happen to the bill if you put black on it trying to get it through Congress? I'll wait. What do you think is going to happen to it? James, what do you think is going to happen to the bill? James, what's going to happen to the bill? They don't have to answer. Don't kick the chair. What's going to happen to the bill, James? What happened to the bill, James? That's why I talk about civilians, okay? Anyway, continuing. He'll get back to me.
And I'm really curious to get your take on it. So President Biden lines up behind Kamala Harris, endorses her. The Clintons, Bill and Hillary, have come out, lined up behind her. So many others have. You mentioned 6 states that have already pledged all their delegates. Other states, I suspect, will do likewise. But Barack Obama, curiously, called for an open process. How did you read that comment from him?
Well, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. He and Nancy Pelosi started out after Biden, some weeks ago, saying that he was literally not capable of.
What is this? Not he started after Biden weeks ago, weeks before this crash actually happened, right? Okay. Weeks, okay. Does it sound like somebody that wanted Kamala Harris to be the nominee?
Becoming the president and handling a debate and all of that. And they built the pressure and they did the organizing around getting others and was, I know what they were doing. And you would think at this time they would stand down and they would be satisfied that they have lost on the issue of an open convention where they would make her compete with whoever these mystery candidates would be. And they should come on in and stop playing the power game that they're playing. If they got somebody that they want to run against her, they've lost that battle already. It's not going to work. I'm not happy with that at all. And I think they need to stop it and just join with the millions.
Does that sound like somebody that endorsed and encouraged Kamala Harris to be the nominee? Okay? This is coming from an insider, a longtime insider of the Democratic Party. And she's pissed off, and she's telling, when black women get pissed off, they start fucking telling the truth, okay? She's telling the truth, okay? That's why he provoked it. That's why he provoked it. Does that sound like Barack Obama actually wants to get out there and campaign for her? I'm asking you. Okay? So now when you juxtapose it with him chastising brothers about her being nominated for president or basically put in as president, do you think he's being genuine? You think he's being genuine? Maintaining the party line, okay? Even the stuff that he said sounds exactly like what Maxine Waters just said months ago, right? In fact, you could have taken what Maxine Waters said and put it in his mouth. It sound almost exactly the same, right? Why does anything with black folks have to be hidden in a bill? Why does that say about the CBC? We voted into office. Even the CDC has about maybe 40 seats, okay? By 40, maybe 50 seats in Congress, okay? You got 485 people in Congress that are not black. Where do you think how far do you think the bill would get? To sneak. You guys are smart, intelligent people, okay? Sophisticated people. Stop being civilians for a second. How far do you think the bill would get? To sneak. If you were president, how could you get something? Could you get a black bill through Congress? Hell, you can't even have a study on reparations that's been sitting in Congress for 40 years. You have a black boy bill that Obama actually helped on committee. Okay, that's been sitting in committee. Well, not even in committee for God since he's been in office for like 10 years. Okay, it's gone nowhere. So all you people that says he hasn't done anything with black folks, okay, I'm gonna drop the link in a minute. Right after I do, I'm gonna drop the link. You tell me how you're gonna get a bill through Congress with black on it, okay?
The people who are now have joined in with support of her.
Yeah, are the Asians black? Festus, are the Asians black?
It's one of the reasons you got to respect Maxine Waters. She does not hold her tongue. I think she just chin checked Barack Obama and Nancy Pelosi. That's
the farm bill that they did get through that still got paused by the courts was farmers of color. Okay, and they still sued and blocked it. Okay. Now that's about the third time people keep saying this bullshit. Okay.
My word, not hers. Congresswoman, good to have you on. We'll do it again soon. All the best to you. Thanks for your time.
You're welcome. Those are my words. Thank you.
It would have gotten as far as bullshit, James. Okay? Bullshit. Okay? Because alphabet people are what? White. And you have a lot of Republicans, you got people on both sides that are what? Gay. Go look up log cabin Republicans. A lot of your log cabin Republicans really, I'm not even going to tell you what they really want. What their real end game is, okay? And the end game is not little girls, okay? If a lot of this stuff had been a black organization, it had been killed a long time ago. Let me finish this, and I'll drop.
Those are her words, and I can assure you, they'll be
James. You can come and explain this to me
in a matter of minutes. That she went after Barack Obama and Nancy Pelosi for starting this, and she said enough of the power grab. Enough of the power grab, and she's not having it from Nancy Pelosi or Barack Obama. You heard her say it. When we come forward, more with Dr. Cornel West and Jonathan Darman, noted historian. You're listening to Tavis Smiley.
In other words, he said she chin checked him. So what I'm saying is the reason I presented all this other bullshit aside, okay? Because you're adding on bullshit. I didn't say, what I want to say, does it seem like that he really endorsed her? Regardless of whatever all the other bullshit, the side rabbit holes that you guys want to go down, okay? My thing is, for one little thing, right? The speeches he gave was false, okay? In my opinion, that's false finger wagging. Because guess what? He didn't want her in the fucking first place. And I've showed you 3 people that said the exact same thing, right? He didn't want her in the first place. AOC said the exact same thing. He didn't want her in the first place. So him giving a speech and finger wagging black men, okay? That's why I call it fake finger wagging. So black folk need to hold tight and wait for the shower tight level boat. Sounds like defeat to me, okay? Well, maybe it is, okay? Guess what? Rising tide and $300 billion didn't make the Ukraine army beat the Russians, did it? Did it? If you want to face facts. This isn't a dig. Can you explain why Obama being genuine matters? Okay. It's because you guys believe that he's being genuine. It's not about him, okay? I know when he said it, he's following the company line, right? But you guys are getting all upset. When you know it's theater, it's bullshit. The thing is, why is he doing it? It's not about what he did, it's why he's doing it. It's because they're losing. And they had to drag his ass out against his will to actually give this fucking speech because he hasn't campaigned for it at all. He hasn't campaigned for it in months. He hasn't said anything positive about Kamala Harris since the convention, okay? They got on his ass. No, he's part of the party, and that's what she said. You've lost that battle. Now you got to get in line, just like Gavin Newsom did, okay? That's why I'm doing this, okay? And you guys want to do all this other side shit. But normally I do this behind the wall. And for you people that really got something to say, okay? You can say it in real time. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether. A lot of times, guess what? Okay, your friends will tell you the truth about your good things. Your enemy will tell the truth about your bad things. Okay. And Maxine Waters did not have a vendetta. You want your camera on, Resurrection Minds?
Hey,
okay.
BTS, thanks for having
yes, sir.
me up. I just had one brief question. When you were talking about 40 congressional black congressmen,
yes,
this may be short-sighted, but from my perspective, I'm thinking it's the duty of at least one of those congressmen to introduce a bill on reparations just to smoke the Democrats.
There's been a bill on reparations for 40 years, okay? For 40 years. I guess you're out. It's been there for 40 years. What are you talking about? And that's not the only one. But it's got to get through committee and it's got to get through Congress, right?
Well, I'm not talking about a study, BTS. I'm actually talking about introducing a straight up bill for cash reparations and then letting the Democratic Party
if you can't even get a bill through the House on a study, how you gonna get money?
But that's fine, BTS. But I just want it to be introduced by somebody brave enough from the CBC, so black people can see that these people don't care about us either.
Well, fucking vote them in. Well, fucking vote them in.
Black people are too afraid.
Well, then that's then the problem is not with them; it's with us, isn't it?
It's with them because they're
no. How come you don't vote? What's his name? What's her name? What's the chick's name? What's her name from ADOS? Okay, that started the ADOS movement.
She doesn't live in my. I live.
I'm not. It doesn't matter. Okay,
Okay.
it don't matter, right? Okay, I don't know what state she lives in. Okay, if black people are really serious about having an advocate for reparations in the Congress, vote her in.
I agree with you. But what I'm saying is when
You,
black people keep on
you're in St. Louis, right? Is there ADOS movement in St. Louis?
nothing but amongst the grassroots,
It doesn't matter. Is there anybody? Is there a movement in St. Louis?
I would just say basically online, BTS.
No, 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 no. Is there a reparations representative in St. Louis? Do you know or not?
Not to my knowledge. Not to my
Well,
knowledge.
well, then the problem ain't with them. The problem is with the people.
Only thing I was saying, BGS, is I think somebody
I
raised
know
up
it. I know what you think, okay? And what is we're not doing pie in the sky, wishing on a star shit. We're doing on the ground, basic, hardcore facts. How do we get shit done, okay?
the
And
hardcore.
wanting something and wishing for something are two different things, right? To my knowledge, there's been at least 100 reparations movement that I know of, okay? 100.
Right, right. But the hardcore facts are, DGS, that the party that most black people have been backing since the days of FDR does not want us to be on equal ground.
Okay, so what?
So that matters because Negro, I get so sick of these niggas telling
Well,
me that this party is for us.
the Green Party's for reparations. Vote for them.
Right, right. I'm back. I'm voting for Jill Stein.
Well then, how come 90% of the black folks don't vote for the Green Party and Jill
Because
Stein?
stupid Negroes keep on
Well,
telling me,
well, then-
well,
well,
you're just throwing away your vote.
oh,
You're throwing
okay.
away your vote.
So in other words, the problem is not with your representative. Who's the problem with?
It's with us.
It was us. So screaming at me, talking about what you wish doesn't mean shit. There's a lot of things I wish for. Okay.
Hey, my passion is not against you, BGS. I'm just giving you my perspective.
I understand, and what I'm doing, because I've been blue pill, I've been red pill, now I'm fucking black pill. That shit don't matter.
I got you.
That shit don't matter. Okay.
I got you.
That's why I'm showing you this. This is black pill shit, okay? Because people are reacting to what Barack Obama said about black men, right? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you guys of all people should have known that when it came out of his mouth it was bullshit from the very beginning, right?
Yeah, I agree. Hey,
And,
I like what
and I'm getting all these people that are upset. You hear what Barack Obama said, blah blah. I said, what did you expect him to say?
Yeah.
What did you expect him to say? If he's going to come out, you expect him to talk bad against Kamala Harris. Okay. Now, could he have said it better? Maybe. I don't know. Okay.
Right.
He was told what to say.
And it backfired.
If it backfires, it backfires. The thing is for them to pull him out of the bullpen, knowing that he doesn't back this candidate. It means that what is that? That's a sign of desperation, right?
Yes. Yes.
Which is what I'm trying to point out. In other words, what I don't say at the very beginning of this stream, right? I'm trying to get you to what? Peep game, okay?
Peep game, right?
Peep game.
You do that.
Peep game, and how this whole manosphere, okay? I heard a whole bunch of shit about what people wanted in the black manosphere and what you expected to get, right? I have never been with that. I think is, okay, what's going to happen? What can we get within this environment to actually push us forward? And that's what I've done, okay? So I don't go in for. So you get in screaming about reparations, okay? Basically I've been in the black pro-black sector conscious community for about 40 years, man. I can't tell you how many reparations movements I've seen, right? And guess what? The reparations movement that did have a chance was ADOS. Guess who killed it? It wasn't white folks.
I've heard you say this plenty of times. I've heard you say this. I just think that should be a litmus test for any black candidate. That should be a litmus test. I don't care if you're a Republican, you are a Democrat, you're green, you're libertarian. I think reparations for foundational black Americans, American descendants of slaves, should be a litmus test for being elected.
And basically, you and FBA and all that kind of crap. Okay, I eliminate all the FBA and ADOS shit. Go back to Negro. Okay. Negro is simple. It's because Negro is a classification that America gave you years ago, right? There's all this other bullshit doesn't mean nothing, okay? It always causes confusion. ADOS, FBA bullshit. You're a Negro. Either you are or you aren't.
Oh yeah, I'm Negro, but you know they classify people from the diaspora as Negroes too.
No, they don't.
Those people work against us.
Basically, okay. they work for their own benefit, right? And basically, okay, for us, what in other words, for their support, what do you give them back?
Well, if it wasn't for us, BGS, they wouldn't even been here.
In other words, what do they have to help us push our stuff forward, and what are we gonna give them back? Quid pro quo. Okay. It's called
What do they
it's ca-
benefit
it's
by
it's called
blocking us,
it's called it's
BGS?
called it's called business. How do you do business? And I've said it before, which I'm not gonna say it here because I don't want my channel killed. Okay,
Okay, I
because
get
I
it.
know I have the reparations plan that Africans and in diaspora and black folks would go for, and we'll probably have a pretty good chance to get reparations through. Okay,
You mentioned it before. I remember what you
and I
said.
mean exactly. But thing is,
I
that's
remember.
called doing business. Okay,
Yeah.
it's called black pill. Okay, it's like I'm gonna have a lot of respect for Africans on the diaspora. I'm not blue pill about this. I'm black pill about this shit. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So
All right.
scream about reparations, yada yada yada. Okay, if I'm white people, I'm not gonna give it to you for a whole host of reasons. I have to be forced to give it to you.
Right. Right.
And
I got
and
you.
for and 40 black congressmen in Congress is not gonna get a reparations bill through.
Oh, I know they won't. I just want
And
somebody to be brave enough to stand up and present it.
if you want representation, man, and then that's what you want. And the same thing with Obama trying to put a black bill forward. Okay, he could have done that, knowing that it would get killed. It made him look good, wouldn't it?
Right.
But the thing is,
Right.
it's not going to help black people by him doing that, is it?
Well, in result, no, it wouldn't. You're right. It
Okay.
wouldn't.
And in other words, and that's why I said, okay, this nigga, get up here, man. Get up here.
I, I'll let you go, BGS. I thank you
No,
for
no, no,
letting
no.
me up.
I'm talking about this sneak. Get his ass up here, okay? He's in the chat. Get your ass up here. I
Yeah,
asked
yeah.
you. I'm gonna ask you, okay? Okay. We gonna make this. We gonna make Resurrection Minds president of the United States, okay?
Okay.
Okay. You want to get what through Congress, okay? Reparations is out of the question. You already know that, right? Okay.
Right. Right.
Okay. What else you want to do for black folks?
What I want to do for black folks, I want to give black folks an equal or a better opportunity at gainful employment
Okay.
and
So.
education.
Okay, so at education, which civil rights and affirmative action is supposed to do for you, but that's a different
Supposed to.
story. That's a different. Well, you're black. You have to talk to your black woman about that shit. But the thing is, it's supposed to do for you, right? But the thing
Yeah.
is, okay, you're president, okay,
Right.
okay. Some of this stuff is already. Some of the stuff basically can be done by a presidential um,
Executive
what
order.
is it? Executive order, which is already in place. Okay, he never went against it. He reaffirmed for race-based affirmative action for black people. He already reaffirmed that. Okay, that's an
Okay.
executive order is already in place. Okay, okay. Now, what specific thing do you actually want to get done for black people specifically?
Specifically,
Yes,
specifically, what I
yes.
want is our children. For one,
Okay. Uh
I
huh.
want our children to be trained specifically in STEM, so they can be viable, productive people in this future society that we're
So how do
living in.
you?
And it's
So how do you do? You can actually make a mandate, which is probably which even George Bush did that back in 2006 or something like that. In 2006. In fact, George H. Bush did it in '91. Okay, okay.
all right. I
So
think
he did,
implementing
which is
something
already
where
done. Okay, so in other words, okay. So but the thing is, okay, say something has to go through Congress. Okay,
okay.
how far do you think it will get through Congress?
Well, you don't need Congress with an EO, right?
I'm talking about if you had to get something through Congress. They talk about putting something with black folks' name on it.
Well, you can't do it by race. You got to do it by something other than race. Yeah,
Ah,
I know that.
so you can't put black on it,
No,
right?
you can't. You
So
got to
so you
use lineage. You
so
can
you
use lineage.
so you have to hide it. And you can't even use lineage because you're not gonna get through. Okay, you still have to hide it. How do you hide it?
Urban. Something has to be something with has to do with urban.
Yes,
Urban.
yes. Urban centers, right?
Specifically where
We,
a lot of black indigenous,
we,
where a lot of black kids live.
which is he did with shovel ready projects and all kind of other shit that was done, right? In fact, if I can find him, okay, a guy that was actually talking back in 2015 said exactly that, right? That a lot of your black men were actually hired because the money that was given through TARP and that kind of crap, and the shovel ready projects actually hired a lot of black men, right? It was actually done, right? So once the money was gone, guess what happened?
They got fired.
Well, the thing is, they got laid off, right? They had to go do something else, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So the thing is, there was stuff done. The thing is, it was not done in the open. And a
Okay.
lot of people say, well, you didn't do anything for black folks is because it didn't have your name on it, right?
Okay. Yeah. What
Oh,
you can't do, and a lot of black people need to be educated about that fact that you can't pass laws based on race.
I just said that, okay?
Yeah.
So you have to find another, just like the bankers do, just like the corporate global entities do. They don't put their name on it. What do? They hide it inside a bill, which is what he did. So
Yeah.
I'm not, and trust me, Obama's not perfect, okay?
Right.
Not by any stretch of imagination. He's a president just like everybody else, okay? He's got his imperfections. They all do, okay?
Right.
What I'm
Right.
saying is to say he did nothing for black folks is not true.
What I think when black people say that, BGS, I think it was because of the climate of we had Trayvon Martin, Michael Brown, Tamir
Okay?
Rice, Freddie
Who,
Gray,
who,
Eric
who,
Gardner.
who,
We had all these things
remember
happen in
Trayvon
Washington.
Martin? Remember Trayvon Martin? Who took the hit for actually speaking up on Trayvon Martin?
Obama did, but we were expecting that the DOJ was going to come down on these police organizations,
They did.
departments.
They did.
Well, specifically here, Michael Brown, they did something to stop some of the practices of these police departments around here in the St. Louis area. But we wanted to see people go to jail, BGS. We wanted those cops to go to jail.
I mean, how much can he really do it? Okay, the biggest factor in seeing these cops go to jail is who? The people in the state themselves, right?
But the feds can pick up cases too.
They did pick up cases, okay? They pick up a lot of cases. In fact, Trump did a lot of that stuff, reluctantly, but he did a lot of that stuff, right?
Yeah,
You just don't hear
exactly.
about it. Okay, you
Yeah,
don't hear about it, okay? The thing is, you have to be sophisticated enough to know exactly what's being done and get behind it.
you do. Specifically, I'm gonna give you an example. Like even now with Ahmaud Arbery, who just got killed down there in Georgia,
Hmm.
the assistant attorney general tried to get lesser sentence for those convicted people, Kristen Clark, and the family fought against it. They was like, "No, we don't agree to this." But Joe Biden's assistant DOJ person tried to do that. So I'm not saying this about Obama, but I'm just saying about how this stuff is done. It's still not enough being done to prosecute these cops, even when the states don't pick it up. And I think that's what black people wanted.
That's what they want, but guess what? You're 12% of the population.
Yeah, we are.
Okay,
We are.
and basically, you look at which Obama's not really for all these immigrants coming into the country taking jobs. Okay, he's not,
He's not. I agree with you.
because he did the opposite. Okay, so the thing is, you have to not only look at party, but actually look at the personality, because it's not cut and dried. Okay, that's why I asked you,
It's not.
if you're doing the job, what would you do? And a lot of guys say, this is what I want, this and I want that, because you ain't in the seat.
Well, you have to be, as you always say, I think you have to have a practical approach to it. You
So,
gotta
yeah,
have a practical approach.
which this whole thing was not about what Obama did. You know, was it, what is it now? 8 years ago? Okay.
He got out in 2012, 12 years ago.
No. 2016 was when his last
Oh
term.
yeah, 2016. Yeah, you're right. 8 years.
You
Yeah,
know, 8 years ago, right?
right.
I'm talking about a very narrow thing. You guys want to expand this shit, but the thing is, when you expand this shit, you're talking to somebody that's been doing this stuff for a very long time, right? So when you guys are talking to somebody that knows about this shit, okay? So when I actually question you about it, I'm trying to get you guys to actually think outside the box and learn, okay?
Right. How
Okay.
realistic? How realistic was it for us to expect Barack Obama to make a difference in the lives of black people?
Basically, a president gets in, he can only change things maybe 10% if he's lucky.
Okay.
And that's for everything. That's not just for black people, right? Okay. And some things he's going to take because he has to. Like, okay, your banks are getting ready, your international banks are getting ready to fold and throw the dollar out, all right? What's that going to do to your country? Okay. You have to negotiate with them. So you have to give them something to stabilize shit and try to sneak stuff in for black people, which he did. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And sometimes this shit is obvious. And like my brother's keeper was obvious. He did a little simple thing like my brother's keeper. What happened to it?
It got destroyed.
They tried to destroy that shit. And that's small without government money, right?
Right.
Okay, for black boys. And black women are the first one to get in line and protest it, right?
Right. Right.
So and white people and white women are the first one to get in line and protest anything against anything race-based, right? Because it takes money out of their pocket.
It does. It does.
Okay, we never blame white women. And white women are big.
Look at white people in general instead of just white women.
Oh, we look at flat whiteness, huh?
I think a lot of times that's what happens, but we do need to be a little bit more specific. We do.
Which is what I'm trying to say, and you guys keep pushing back like you know shit, okay?
Well, yeah. I mean, realistically, BGS, I honestly think, I think I heard from you and someone else, I think that the Democrats want to just start all over with Gavin Newsom in 2028.
Okay, Obama said this. They've said this from the very beginning, right? They're trying to protect down ballot seats. Okay, they're trying to. They said that's why they said we're going to lose this one. Okay, because what we tried to do didn't work. We're going to lose it. Try to restart the party in 2028. Okay, that's what Obama's for.
2028.
Yeah.
Wouldn't they have been smarter, BGS, by negotiating with Netanyahu to do a ceasefire up until after the election?
It maybe or maybe not, but basically the thing is, you got a certain group of people that are in power right now that have a different agenda that they're not stating. Okay, why do you think Dick Cheney and Liz Cheney and all the other neocons are actually backing Kamala Harris? Because they're with this shit. Okay, they're with the game. Okay, but this we have to talk about this behind the wall because we're getting very close to the line. The strategy to hide policy for black people in bills, then CBC are cowards and not for doing this. Elect people that will actually get out and fight and basically not get shit done anyway. Okay. Do you actually want the shit done, or you actually want representation? What do you want? Okay. Which one do you want? Do you actually want to get something for black people that's actually going to help them, or you just want to actually wave the flag and say and get some kind of recognition? You want recognition or reality? Which one you want? Which one do you want? Because waving the flag for a bill to get shot down is not going to put no money in your pocket. It's not going to help anybody. They want not really, but thank you for participating. Raise your children, pay your bills, run your business. You want the government to wipe your butt. I mean, I sometimes I can't. You want tangible benefits, okay? The corporations don't say I need a corporate bill with my name on it. IBM doesn't say that. Intel doesn't say that. Google doesn't say that, right? Say we want tangibles. How can I get what I need done? Okay. How do I get it? How do I get it? That's all they care about. And there are things on the books. There are things in executive science that black people get behind it, can actually push it forward. But the thing is, you guys are too busy hating on each other and wanting somebody in Congress to wave a flag and get shit done. Okay. And get diselected. I'm trying to remember her name. She's out of Georgia, man. She tried to do that for black folks. They ran her out of office. Still didn't help black folks, even before the financial crisis started, okay? She warned black folks. She tried to get shit. She went against the bankers. She went against Congress. She waved a flag, and she got massacred, okay? Massacred in Congress. I do mean massacred. Cynthia McKinney got Willie R. Cynthia McKinney is one of my heroes. And y'all black folks that still did not come behind her and help her. She got slaughtered. And she was speaking the truth, speaking for black folks, trying to help black folks to go on against these bankers and all this other shit. And she got toasted. Okay? She got spit fired and toasted. And none of you Negroes actually helped her. None of you. None of you. But I want somebody to represent me and stand for me. None of you. Okay? That's why AOC doesn't do that shit no more. It's because you will let her get spit fired and toasted and not back because you guys are going to back down. Okay, so shut up. Yeah, got a whole bunch of stuff. She's not even in the country anymore, okay? The idea that either Obama or Harris and either of them who are actually ADOS would think they could have a standing to chest, okay? It don't matter. That's what they've been told to do. Don't matter whether they have nerve. They've been told to. He don't even like her. So I'm trying to get you guys to think outside your emotional box. That's why I don't like doing domestic politics. Okay, you guys get how I feel about it. That's like try to rest your minds, right? Okay. I just want how I feel. How are you actually gonna get it done? How you actually gonna get it across and get it done? I remember Yvette Armory would actually talk about Cynthia McKinney. Yeah. I mean, look who's speaking out for you, right? Okay. I just played her, okay? And she's run for Congress. She got massacred too. Hold on, let me find her, okay? I actually played her. Standing up for black men, and y'all still ain't doing shit. She's the only one. She's the only Democrat standing up for black men. Play my shorts. I play this shit for a reason, okay? I play this shit for a reason, okay? Are you guys getting behind her? She'll speak up for you. Are you guys getting behind her?
For me, the Democratic Party emasculates black men. And I think Hispanic men probably feel the same way. And I say this because they weaponize identity. When and where we enter, who we are, how we identify is important to who we are, just like our fingerprints. But if you're not going to use my identity to advance a social justice cause, and you're just going to use my identity as a blunt force object, now I got a problem. And so what the Democratic Party does, they put black women on a pedestal and they say, we're the mothers of the movement, or we saved the party. But Democrats use it in a way that alienates other folks, and it offends me. So when I talk to black men across this country, they don't see themselves in this party. It's one thing to recognize the power and prowess of black women and the sacrifices that we make. It is another thing to put us above black men. The black struggle, black men and black women have to be together. We don't have the luxury to be separated, and so I resent the Democratic Party for doing that. And so black men do not see themselves in the party.
Okay, are you voting for this sister? This is out of Ohio. You're voting for this sister. Put her in office. Are you guys caping for her? Are you? She might have been on that BSU, but she's speaking up for you. Are you behind her? Okay? You want people to speak for you, but are you behind them? Anyway, let me get out of here, man. I spent like an hour and a half. So it's supposed to be an hour. I'm going to try to do one behind the wall. What is it? 4 o'clock. I'll try for, make it 6:15. Okay? Doesn't matter about cultural vultures. You want somebody to represent you. Is that what you want? I don't care whether they're paid or not. Okay? Okay? It doesn't matter what culture they come from. Do they represent you? Okay? That's what counts. Do they represent you? Y'all get into this emotion. He's a tetherer. He's not ADOS. When your own flesh and blood are selling you out. Okay? Maxine Waters is the ADOS to the nth degree. Okay? Is she for you? Okay? Sometimes she is, sometimes she isn't, right? Like she's the one that went against the CIA with the cocaine shit that devastated Los Angeles. Okay, she went after them. So I said it's always policy over personality. It's always policy over party. And I don't. So I stopped taking this shit personally a long time ago, and I think you should too. Anyhow, well, if you could represent yourself, run for it. Represent yourself, run for it. All right, Warhawk. Go ahead, and time Warhawk out. Okay, he's asking for it. Okay. I know she's pro reparations, but who's voting? But how many black people are voting for the Green Party? Hmm. Policy over party. You guys will learn one day. But the thing is, that's beyond the scope of what the whole thing is. Okay. Basically, what Barack Obama said to black men, and that thing was actually bullshit because he don't even believe it himself. Okay. He's probably patting himself on the back. Ah, that was a good ass speech, and people shook these Negroes up because he don't believe it himself. Got to pick and choose the battles that are winnable. But you're calling people tether. The funny part, you're going overseas to get tethered women. That is true. You know, I don't like the tether shit. Okay, and all it did was splinter coalition, which basically, you know, all this tether shit do is do the work for white people for them. That shit should have been settled internally. So all you're doing is doing the work for white people for them. Okay, by doing this shit, which they know that you're gonna do. Which is why they weren't worried about the reparations because they know that we would actually destroy the reparations movement internally, but within fighting, which we did. Which I don't know why people get upset about it. The problem is not them. The problem is you. Fix you first. Anyhow, y'all, let me get out of here, and I will see you guys on the flip side. Okay, for the people that are part of my Patreon, I'm gonna try to do a couple hours on. Behind the wall because I've done a lot of hours this week, so I'm only going to do a couple hours on behind the wall because I actually did this. Well, this is actually front facing because I actually want to get that part out about Barack Obama and the bullshit that he's spouting that he doesn't even believe in because everybody he said this one black man. He don't even believe that shit. Okay. But you guys are not sophisticated enough to actually peep game that he don't believe it. The Maxine Waters and all the other kind of stuff should have been pulled a long time ago. Right after he said it should have been pulled. Okay, he don't even believe it. He don't even like her. It should have been pulled, but nobody pulls it. Okay, so I said, okay, ain't nobody gonna pull it. I thought somebody would have pulled it, so I had to pull it. So I pulled it. So now you got the receipts, okay? Now, if you want to continue on the same old whatever it is that you want to continue on, fine, okay? If you guys want to believe them rather than your lying eyes, go ahead and do it, man. Because after this, that's why I put it out there. Now I'm done with it. Don't ask me about Barack Obama, what I think about what he said no more, okay? All right? Anyhow. Let me go ahead and jump on out of here, folks, and I will see you guys later.